All right, here we go, everybody. We are in Zibo here in Shandong Province for another match today here on FM Projects. And we're playing the Zibo Qisheng, and there is nobody here to watch this match once again. Boy, we don't do very good at drawing a crowd here when we're on the road, do we? I mean, there's absolutely nobody here in this massive stadium in Zibo. That's probably some sort of Communist Party government project. The big news today is that we have scored 99 goals out of 16 games. You can see we have a goal differential of only 95 because of 4 goals that we've allowed. 2 of them were allowed by our current goalie, Wu Ping, who went back down to our under-19s after he gave those up. And then we've also allowed 2 goals on penalties. And here's Han Jin with it, and that highlight ends. And, as you can tell, I've been playing Wu Ping a little bit more here. I think that we may give him another chance. And the reason why I'm saying that we might give him another chance is because, as bad as his personality is, and Mr. Kwon has it, I think that we can work with it. He goes back to Wu Ping. Wu Ping goes over to Yejie. The other goalies we've had come in haven't looked that great. Over to Mr. Kwon now. Mr. Kwon over to Kim Yong-il, who is getting another start there on that right side, and he was still onside with that one. Kim Yong-il getting that start after that good game yesterday, and here he is with the corner. And it goes up, and unfortunately, we're unable to get a head around it. Fan Xiang in there. We have the 3 Musketeers in there today, and here comes Para, who was way, way in the back, moves over to the front, and he's got Kim Yong-il there. And I think that first one went in, actually, but that second one, there was no doubt about it. He got that rebound very nicely. I'm pretty sure that first one actually was in, though, the initial header. But either way, it's a goal for Kim Yong-il. 1-0 Yanbian FC here on 10 minutes. And very, very nicely done by Para, who takes no prisoners, just sort of goes up forward himself and makes something happen. And that's what we're all about, expressiveness and creativity. That's the Northeast Chinese way, isn't it? That's the North Korean way, isn't it? Kim Yong-il there, over to Ravaglia. Ravaglia back to Mr. Kwon. Mr. Kwon looking for Han Jin. Got him. Han Jin up there now, over to Ravaglia, and nothing doing. And it's Yejie over there, back to Fan Xiang, over to Mr. Kwon, back to Han Jin. And as you can see, Yejie and Fan Xiang, who are the 2 elder statesmen of the club at 28 and 29 or so, respectively. And they have a nice little hookup going on there. Game doesn't recognize it yet, but I do. Mr. Kwon over here now to Kim Yong-il. Kim Yong-il back to Tong Jun. Tong Jun over to Kim Yong-il. Kim Yong-il's got a man. Does he see him? No. Over to Huang Jianwei, and that's a poor attempt at a cross from Huang Jianwei, who was sort of a last-minute starting decision on my part. Mr. Kwon now over to Tong Jun, looking for Kim Yong-il. Can't find him. Huang Jianwei now back to Mr. Kwon. Mr. Kwon back in his normal role as the ultimate playmaker, and Kim Yong-il winds up with it and blasts out a shot that unfortunately the defense has control of. We're looking fairly good here so far in the early going, only up 1-0 though, and with a corner coming up, and that looked really, really nice. Para really probably should be looking to take that himself, but good unselfish play from him. Either way, it works. We get a corner, and maybe we'll get a goal here from a set piece for a change. Tongjian now up and over, and we're not quite able to get our head onto it. Paulson now. Paulson back to, who is that? Kim Yong-il playing the back. Back to Yejie, over to Tongjian. Tongjian now over and up to Para. Para looking for someone to cross it to. There's no one there, so he walks backwards, heads it over to Han Jin, who looks surprised to see it. Over to Fan Xiang now. Fan Xiang over to Tongjian. Tongjian over to Mr. Kwon. And Mr. Kwon takes a shot and scores a goal. 9th goal of the season there for Mr. Kwon. And it was obvious that he was going to take that shot from long range. I'm surprised that the Zibo defense didn't see that coming. Maybe I've watched this team more than they have. Yeah, Mr. Kwon, you give him that kind of space right from that range, he's always going to shoot. And, boy, that one will look very, very nice in that top corner. Defensive midfielder is the position he's playing, but that didn't look very defensive to me. I don't know what you think. Tongjian now over to Para, who has a little flick of a header on goal, nothing doing. And Para can do better than that. Luciano needs to wake up a little bit here, I think. And that's really, really poor by Paulson and by whoever else that was there. Tan Tiancheng with the shot, and it goes over. And I guess that was deflected by Wu Ping. The highlight there wasn't very clear, but that was a really poor bit of defending on our part. That's what FM looked like, FM23 that is, before that patch. I thought they fixed all of that. And we'll take another look at this here in the replay. And who is that here that misses this? I'm not quite sure who this is. I think it's Huang Jianwei who misses it there. Yes, it is. Huang Jianwei, who hasn't played for a little while. Looks like he doesn't know what sport he's playing. And that was kind of ridiculous. 2-0 now Yanbian as Kim Yong-il has it over the Tongjian, over to Para. He's got to be offside, surely. Kicks it over to Hanjin, who gets his 11th goal of the season, and they're going to count that, I think. Yep, the referee not doing anything, but Para must have been offside here. We'll take another look at it. Kim Yong-il had it here over to Tongjian, and Para was, I think, clearly offside, unless they're saying that Shui Shitong over here was too far back. Let's see if we get another angle, and they don't even show it to us. I think that was offside, honestly. But we'll take it, 3-0 Yanbian. Kim Yong-il now with the corner once again, and let's see if we can get a goal off of the corner, and he's looking there. I think that was for Paulson, but unable to find him. Huang Jianwei takes it off of his man over to Paulson now, and over to Fan Xiang. Fan Xiang still, and he brings it up forward, Fan Xiang now, and sort of retreats with it a little bit, and he kicks a little blooper over to Kim Yong-il, who tries to get a foot onto it, and unfortunately is unable to beat the keeper on that one. And the keeper kicks it right back to Paulson, who goes over to Tongjian, back to Kim Yong-il, who's onside yet again, and he blasts one over into the first row. And, I mean, there was a thought. Fan Xiang now over to Rovaglia over to Hanjin, and you've got that position again, back now to Fan Xiang, and he has a go at goal, but unfortunately nothing is happening. As you can see, I think the most powerful part of our team is not our offense, but it's our defense. These defenders are actually quite good. Kim Yong-il now, other than Huang Jianwei, who's not played that well. Mr. Kwon over to Huang Jianwei, speak of the devil. Huang Jianwei, and in Chinese they say 说早早早早到. Sun Shipeng now over to, who is this? Tan Tiancheng again. And it's almost not worth saying the names of these Zibo players because I doubt that they're going to score. In fact, they'll just kick it back to Hanjin over to Kim Yong-il. Paulson now back to Mr. Kwon. Mr. Kwon with all control, and he kicks it over to Kim Yong-il. See, North and South Korea can get along, can't they? Kim Yong-il now back to Huang Jianwei, and he has a little floater up there to Para, who unfortunately for him hits the top of the woodwork, and that goes out of play. Still 3-0 to Yanbian FC, and we're winning everything in the air and everything in the midfield. Yang Song now, and it goes back to Paulson over to Hanjin. And we give up the ball a little bit more quickly than I would like. And as soon as I say we're winning everything in midfield, we start losing everything in midfield. And that's what karma does to you. Parda almost able to get on that one and just not quite. And there's Yeje finally to win that header back to Parda, to Ravaglia, up to Parda. And he's got an easy goal. And Luciano Parra finally scores 17 on the season for him. He is now the leading scorer on the team. He and Huang Bowen both have arguments to be made for that golden boot. And by the way, we have scored, and I forgot to mention this at the start of this game, we have scored well over 100 goals now in 17 games in this league, with more to come. We're not even through halftime in this game yet, and we might score 2 or 3 more before halftime. Let's see what happens. Or maybe not. It looks like we're not going to do so. But you know that we're to come out rocking and rolling here in the second half. And that was very good. I will take that. I am happy with that number of shots on target. And just about everybody's playing well except for Huang Jianwei. Wu Ping, I guess it's all right. He hasn't really had much to do back there in goal. And it is Zibo with the ball right away. And the first thing they do is they give it up, except Yeje can't get his head over onto it. And Fan Xiang finally picks it up. Yeje, I might regret not, and Chen Zijie, is injured on that. I might end up regretting not selling Yeje when I could have. I was looking in our development page, and we've got a kid who I think is like 16, 17, who we bought, who I forgot about, who's like 196 centimeters, who's an excellent defender. Jovaglia kicks that one in, and that's goal number 5. We do have potentially Yeje's replacement already here at the club. I mean, this kid has got a professional personality. This kid is tall. This kid knows how to play in this system. And this kid is excellent. You might see him before the end of the season. And, I mean, Yeje, for all of his leadership talents, doesn't play very well all the time. And that was clearly onside. Great pass from Para over to Ravaglia. And let's see if we can get Para his hat trick now. Fan Xiang over to Tongjian. Back to Fan Xiang. Fanxiang over to Ravaglia, and he's going to look for Parra there, and Parra, unfortunately, is out of position. It goes over to Kim Jong-il over to Ravaglia. He has a header that goes skidding off of that post in kind of an odd way. I don't think I've ever seen a header hit that hard before. The game now is starting to stutter. I'm not sure if this is because of OBS or if this is because of Football Manager. What's going on? This has been happening from time to time, and I've seen on Twitter that I'm not the only one. Mr. Kwon now. Mr. Kwon is trying to deal with the stuttering, and he kicks it over to Han Jin, and that is a penalty for something. I guess they pulled Han Jin back, and so this is the way I think that Parra will wind up with the hat trick. No, it's Hwang Jianwei who kicks it, and he misses the penalty shot, and we're probably going to have to take Hwang Jianwei out of this, and that was ridiculous. Why was he the one who's taking it when we have Parra on a hat trick? I don't really understand that, but it's all right. Another one of those just Football Manager things. That's what we have here, and the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to take Hwang Jianwei out before he hurts himself. Having a poor game, Hwang Jianwei, we got to put Park Myung-sung back on. He's a little bit tired, but I think he'll be able to see it out to the end. And we go onwards and upwards and forwards and see what happens next in this game. Hopefully we can stop this game from stuttering out too badly. And it looks like we're doing all right. Sun Shipeng's got it now back to Fanda, over to Tan Tiancheng, whose name keeps coming back up for Zibo. And Wu Ping very, very good at getting around onto that one, but he can't stop the rebound from skittering off and out of bounds. And that's going to be a corner. And that was an excellent save, though, from Wu Ping. This is the reason why we won him, because either of our other goaltenders would have let that one go in. I'm quite sure of that. And what's happening to our defense? Well, there's Paulson to finally get control of it over to Hanjin, and the highlight ends there. And so a little bit frustrating here in the second half, and I'm still wondering why we didn't have the hat trick there with that penalty, but it's all right. Kim Jong-il now. Kim Jong-il back to Park Myung-sung, and he sort of pops one up to Hwang Yuan-dong, who makes the catch. And I feel like I'm going back to baseball broadcasting here, which I also do on one of my other channels if you're interested. And here we go into the 60th minute with our 5-0 lead. And the game is stuttering, and I hope that the stuttering doesn't have anything to do with us suddenly not having the initiative here, and I'm not really sure what is causing it. Kim Jong-il now. Kim Jong-il takes it up forward all by himself. Kim Jong-il over to Parra. Parra with the shot for that hat trick, and unfortunately for him, that one's knocked out for a corner. And Kim Jong-il will take this corner. And this is so bad, I'm thinking about going back to low graphics before our next match. In fact, I might do that right here. Apologies for the quick pause here, but we're having some major difficulties, and I'm not entirely certain if those difficulties are due to Football Manager or just due to this infamous OBS update that people have been talking about. I'm not seeing anything that's going totally overloaded on OBS, however, and so we'll just put the quality down a little bit and get on with it, and that looks a little bit better. Songjun now. Songjun has got it back to Paulson, and still a little bit of jittering. I'm not entirely sure what's caused that. We'll actually skip this clear-cut chance highlight because I can't remember what it was. Hwang Yuan-dong, their goalkeeper, has given up 5 goals and has a 7.2 rating. So go figure that one out. And what kind of a set piece was that? I'm not sure. It's Songjun now back to Kim Jong-il. We're getting a little bit cute here, and I don't like it. And Hanjin controls it and then lets it go out for a corner. Here's Songjun now. Songjun with the corner. And looking for Hanjin, can't find him. And as Paulson, who tries to get a boot on it and unfortunately is unable to. And now we're going to get control of this again as Kim Jong-il is back and able to get it. Kind of odd to see Kim Jong-il playing so far back. I guess so we have some sort of underlap on. Anyway, at any rate, our attack ends rather quickly, but then they kick it right back to Park Myung-sung and over to Kim Jong-il, who has a shot from range that almost goes in. My goodness. Goodness gracious, you better be careful. If you come to one of our matches and sit in the first row, you're going to have to wear some body armor. And there's Songjun finally getting his first goal of the season. I'm not sure how many starts he's had. We don't need him necessarily for his offensive productivity, but I mean, if he could do that more often, that'd be great. That one has top corner written all over it. That looked like that looked like one of those defensemen in hockey, aiming for the top corner from the, top of the crease. And this one goes back to Wu Ping. Wu Ping still throwing a shutout here for us, and he goes over to Fanxiang, over to Yejia. Yejia sits on it for a second, back to Fanxiang, over to Songjun, back to Yejia. You'll notice that we don't go defending. We don't try to protect our lead. We just keep the pressure on. We don't just want to beat the opposition. We really want to humiliate them if we can. Songjun now over to Park Myung-sung. We've humiliated Zibo so badly that nobody's in the stands. Park Myung-sung now goes over and up over to Kim Yong-il. Kim Yong-il now over to Han-jin, and he centers it there, and Ravaglia is fouled. This time it's got to be Para with the penalty, our second penalty so far in this game. This has been kind of a bizarre game, hasn't it? No, it's Mr. Kwon with the penalty, and he scores it easily. Well, I don't know what happened. I thought the Para was on 2 goals today. Maybe I was wrong. Maybe I saw that wrong. I don't know, because we have so many highlights I can't even see. I can't go back to check because we keep scoring goals. And Para on 2 assists today. That's what's going on. It's Mr. Kwon who's got 2 goals. That explains why. Para, though, does have the 10 rating, which, of course, as we all know, is the most important thing. That was really weird. That hits the top of the net and bounces back into play where Hwang Yuan-dong catches it, and the referee doesn't notice. That is really, really strange. All sorts of strange things here in Chinese football. As Ravaglia has a shot on goal that is saved at the last second, a desperation save by the Zibo goalie. You've got to wonder about the gamblers here, right? You know, with a game like this, nobody in the stands. Zibo, of course, was going to lose. Everybody knew that coming in. Para now takes control of it, and then the highlight ends. I want to see this again. If this is the one? No, this is the save. Ravaglia there, excellent job to get it under control, and that was a really nice save by this goaltender. We need to scout this Zibo goaltender. We might want to hire Hwang Yuan-dong. I'll take a look at him here after we're done, because he's played very, very well against us. We could have had probably 10, 11, 12 goals today otherwise, because the rest of this Zibo team really doesn't have much. Of course, I say that as they're attacking. And but I mean, they've been doing stuff like that. I mean, the shot wasn't anywhere near on target and was far out of the box. I mean, we let them take that all day long. Again, I was talking yesterday about Shaq. That's like letting Shaq shoot a 3-pointer. Para now with a shot on goal, and that's up and over. Unfortunately for him, not able to get more than the 1 goal today, but it's okay. 1 goal, 2 assists is not too bad, and he's probably going to get your man of the match. Hwang Yuan-dong takes it back and shoots it upfield, and it's up to Paulson, over to Mr. Kwon, back to Han-jin, over to Songjun. Songjun now. Songjun over to Fan Xiang. Fan Xiang up, and he's got Ravaglia, and he's got a couple of choices. Over to Fan Xiang again, back to Songjun. And he got so excited after scoring his 1 goal, he thought he might as well have another crack at it. But unfortunately for him, it doesn't go in. Not anything to worry about for us today, though, as we have the win once again. 7-0 win for Yanbian FC. We're back on low graphic setting, and I don't know if I should blame OBS or Football Manager. Let me know in the comments what you think. I will see you tomorrow. Goodbye.